everybody. How's it going? Oh, well, I made a mess of putting my hair up, but oh well. I guess it's better than all over the place. Hey, Stacy, Sandra, and Karen. How's it going? I'll give it a few minutes for other folks to come in and stuff. How's everybody doing today? Oh, well, while we wait, here comes Miss Magoo. Want her lovin's. What is this? A Pavlovian response to every time I go live? If I'm in the kitchen, you get a big drink of water. If I'm in here, you need to have some snuggles. Oh my goodness. Yes, you mummy baby. You look after me, don't ya? Don't ya? You look after your mummy. Yes, you do. Oh. Say hello. There she says hello. There you go. Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby. Oh, my baby. Look at her ears go right back when she's feeling good. That feels so good. Yes. Oh, look. If you could see the look on her face, her ears just going right back. Oh, you get in a bath this weekend. Okay. Give me a kiss. What? Because I said the word bath? Oh, you want your... Oh, okay. The backs of her legs need scratching. Oh. What is this? Breakfast sandwich with the squeaky missing. Hey, Angela. How's it going, sweetheart? Yes, I have to blow my nose. No, I'm not. Give me that friggin' thing. Give me that toy. Give it to me. I gotta empty my waste paper basket here. Oh, how's everybody doing today? I'm still, taking care of myself. Hey, let me say hi. Well, give me a minute. I want to give it a minute because people are coming in, and then 20 more people come in, and then I gotta do the roll call all over again. It's your mummy baby. It's your mummy baby. Oh yes. Cratcha. Oh my goodness. All right, you go watch for Daddy because he's coming home early today. He's coming home early because the paint booth is going to the scrapyard. You know that falling down thing behind the barn? It's finally going. Gracie, go on. Go watch for Daddy. Go watch for Daddy. Let me see your ears. I'm going to have to clean your ears later, eh? Yeah, I know. Not right now. Not right now. So that's going to the scrapyard. It's filled the back of my truck and the trailer. And then when he comes home, he's going to, will you please go find Daddy? Go watch for Daddy. What kind of face is that? What kind of face is that? I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying. She knows what time of day it is, eh? So, hang on. Hi, Quacker. So he's got the trailer full and the truck full, and I'm going to follow behind him, even though everything's strapped down. I'm going to follow behind him with the car just to make sure everything's okay, or that nothing falls off. And if it does, I can beep the horn and say, stop, right? And then we're coming back, and he's going to load the truck if he can, and the trailer if he must, for a dump run tomorrow. So we're hoping that the scrap will pay for the dump run. It's ridiculous. You take one kind of garbage, they pay you. You take another kind, you got to pay. It's the oddest thing I've ever seen. I'm still feeling squashed. I've still got pain. It's easing off, and I've gotten a lecture for don't start. I gotten a lecture from a few of you saying, go to the doctor. I've tried to explain to you folks, I've been to the doctor for this pain before, and they found nothing wrong. Now, either they were lying to me because it was the beginning of the pandemic, or it's true, and these are phantom pain. But, you know, it is what it is, right? All right, there's 33 people here, so I'm going to say hello. Oh, hang on a second. God, I love orange pekoe tea. Especially Yorkshire Gold, but Tetley Orange Pekoe is my daily tea. Oh, that's so good. So let me pop out the participants list. Okay. Remember to say hello in the chat, even if it's just hi or an emoji or something, because then you will show up on my participants list and I can say hello back. If you don't say hello, I don't know you're here because I can't always watch the chat. Oh, pardon me. So let's see. Not pop out the chat. We want to pop out the participants list. Alex Wilson, Amy Bowato, and now, Anne, I might butcher this. Slukter or Schultzer or Slukter. Esax, Garnett Morgan. Hi, it's been a minute. Jules, hey, we be jamming just mom. Karen Lester, Kendra's Journey. Linda Randall, Mary Fair, Michelle J. If you haven't noticed, they go in alphabetical order. Quacker Farm, Stacy Robbins, Sybil P., which we know is Lori, Terry McKinney, and Tina Elliott. Hi. How's everybody doing today? Now, I'm going to pop out this chat and bring it on over here. Bring it on home to me. Now, first things first, I have to, if anybody is here from the reading channel, I'm really, really sorry. I was so yesterday that I completely forgot I was supposed to do a live reading last night. Here in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, we have flesh-eating disease and strep A. One patient posted she went in with strep A and now has flesh-eating disease, and they cut off her breast. Jesus wept. My sister in fibro and canning. I'm going to be canning again soon as my beef comes. My beef should be here next week. The pork is now getting old in the freezer. The last pork chops we had didn't quite, they weren't freezer burnt, but they had freezer taste. So they're all going to be getting ground up and then canned with ground beef. But I do have to wait for the beef to get here, because if it is wrapped in paper, like, the reason it's so late is because after the pig hit the farmer's processor closed down, and so he had to find a new one. And if this new one wraps in vacuum sealed plastic, awesome. If not, I will be taking the packages of hamburger out if they're in paper, and I will be grinding up the pork, leftover pork from the pig, and I will, can it together. Lori Lazar, you sent me, when did you send this email, Lori? Bread, carrot cake, vegetable beef soup, and roasting a chicken. Busy day. Oh my God. If only I could be that busy right now. If only. I look out my garden and I want to cry, because it's not ready for planting, but I should be out there cleaning it, and I just can't. I'm gonna try and get out there this weekend so that Howie will be working out in the yard. So I'll be out there with somebody out there, but I dare not go out by myself, because if I get kicked, it's not bad. It's dying down, but if I get kicked, I double over and I might fall. So I'm just like staying right out of the garden for the moment. 2 days ago. Hang on a second. Let me check. Oh. Social. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, I just seen it now. Okay, I will read it when I'm done, sweetheart. I can't obviously read it now, but yes, I see that. I'm sorry. Give me a second here. Everything moves at half speed. You know how I say I've been doing my spring cleaning a little bit at a time? I just get over here. I just cleaned my bathroom sink. Yesterday I cleaned my kitchen sinks. One thing at a time, you know, even if it's just one task a day. Hey, Nicole Croker. It's the colon. Eat all the greens and skip the bread and potatoes related foods. It's not my colon, Terry. It's not. If you're talking to me, it's not my colon. Every time these things have happened, I've had 2 colonoscopies, making sure it's not my colon. And my colon, last colonoscopy, the doctor said, I don't want to see you for 7 to 10 years. Your colon's great. My colon is not. It's not. It's got to be scar tissue from where they removed my left ovary. Our weather is not cooperating. I have 100 3-foot tomato plants in my house, and it's driving me crazy. They're bushes now. Chop them down and replant them. Do what I do, repot them. If they're 3 feet, are they determinate or indeterminate? Because if they're indeterminate, they'll just keep growing vines. So what you want to do is pull the plants out. If you've got 2 weeks, if you have 2 weeks, pull all the plants out, cut the bottom of the soil off, put them deeper in the pot, and fill the top of the pot up with soil and water them well, right? Mine are doing okay. Mine are about this big, right? And you may want to, and if they're indeterminate, you may want to like just chop them down from the top, right? Because that's what I do. Hi, Trudy. That's what I do when they get, if they're indeterminate and I put them in a cage. And if they get this more than this above the cage, I chop it down to here. If they're indeterminate, which means that they will go crazy all over the place for reproducing more and more vine. Well, I would say chop down your indeterminate some, because they'll just get more bushy. And if they are determinate, I would try cutting off half of the root system and then pushing it down in the pot and adding more soil. And then, because if you got 2 weeks, it'll take them 2 weeks to come back from that, because they're such a big plant. But make sure you keep them well watered for the first 3 or 4 days. Hey, Village Steader. Lipstick and what's sofrito? Hi, Lipstick. I'm sorry if I'm offended you, Bev. I'm speaking to all about the bread and potatoes. Don't forget that I watch what you buy, cook, and eat. Well, that's true. That's true. And you did not offend me, sweetheart. I'm just letting you know that my colon is in good shape. I'm the only one out of 5 siblings, out of us 5 kids, I'm the only one who does not have bowel disease. Right? I've been very careful about that because my mother died of massive peritonitis after her colon ruptured, her bowel ruptured. So I'm really, really careful. You know, most of my family has what ruptured my mother's bowel. I don't, thank you God. But I've had feminine issues ever since puberty. Hey, Village Steader, Alex, they are bushy, all of them. I've potted up to 1 gallon pots, but did you bury them deeper? You can bury them right up to the bottom stem. But if the stems are really long, like the original trunk is really long, you don't want to cut it and then to the bottom leaves or anything. You got to leave some of the root system intact. But I would repot them if you can. That's a lot of work though, and I understand it. Hi, Trudy. How are you, darling? Oh my goodness. That's a lot of tomato plants. I remember one year I planted 95 tomato plants. And that's when we lived in Colborne, and my neighbor, Terry Clinker, God rest his soul, let me use part of his yard for tomato plants, or for another garden, because my garden was only 60 by 30. And I had a 50 by 100. No, maybe not 100, maybe 50 by 75 in his backyard. And he said, all I want is to be able to help myself whenever I feel like it. He wasn't a canner. He just wanted like tomatoes and cucumbers. I'll tell you, I had 95 tomato plants that year. And I made canned tomatoes and I made spaghetti sauce. And if you know how much tomatoes it actually takes to make spaghetti sauce, you'll understand how I got 40 quarts of tomato sauce. And that was just like the spaghetti sauce. No meat, no nothing. That was the spaghetti sauce with vegetables. I always bury them deep. The stalks are thick. They look great. I just can't stand them in the house anymore. I hear ya. I hear ya. If I was on my phone, streaming on my phone, I'd go show you my garden. Hey, Robin Rose. I'm taking it real slow, Robin, because I know what kind of year I have ahead of me, what kind of season I have ahead of me. And I'm going to go out in the garden and start cleaning up this weekend and planting Spanish onions because I have the bulbs. And I'm hoping Howard will empty a couple of bins for me or top up a couple of my beds, because my garlic bed has garlic coming up in it. And I got garlic coming up in 2 other beds. And maybe onions. I don't know. Right? Hey, Andrea. I can most of my tomatoes as homemade rotel salsa and use them in everything. I can't, well, I kind of do that. I call it garden medley vegetables. You know, I just can it all up. But I'll tell you something. This past harvest, when I gleaned from the garden, and I had like after the Thanksgiving and the hard frost, I went out to the garden, not hard frost, but a heavy frost. I went out to the garden and I picked all the last of the green tomatoes and all the last of the red tomatoes. And I got about, I don't know, a big mixing bowl of tomatoes. And they were in the freezer, and I got a few carrots and a couple of zucchini and some onions and some garlic. And I grated the carrot and I made like garden medley vegetables. No, you're lying. I made garden medley vegetables. She's trying to tell me someone's here. Hey, Diane, how are you? I know. And you know what? I am this time I'm going to, because my cabbages will be ready before my tomatoes. Last year, I canned the cabbage up with canned tomatoes, right? Gracie, hush. So this year, I'm actually going to shred and dehydrate any cabbage I get, so that when it comes time to can, when I have enough tomatoes to make it, I'll just stew my tomatoes and I'll add the dried cabbage in, because the cabbage comes before the tomatoes. And I don't like the taste of canned tomatoes with the cabbage as much. Planted potatoes, onions, cabbage, and cauliflower this week. Weehaw, grading is here. I think you mean gardening. Hi, Donna. But I'm going to, so this year, I'm going to take all my cabbage, and it's basically going to be shredded and dehydrated. And then when it comes time to make, I'm going to cook it with tomatoes and onions, and then can it up. I'm also going to make my garden medley vegetables, but I'm going to add carrot this year because the grated carrot sweetened the acidity. It was really delicious. So, yep, gardening. I can't wait. Well, I can wait, but I can't. I look out my backyard and I want to cry because it's, my back garden's a mess. Hey, Lori. Hi, sweet sipper. How's it going? My knees are feeling better today. I had injection on Monday and it's improving. They said I have a Baker's cyst. Oh, really? I've heard of the Baker's cyst. I had a family member who had knee replacement surgery and had come to visit. And their one leg was swollen from the knee down. And I checked it over and said, is it both legs or one leg? Just one leg. And I felt it and it was really, really hot. I said, you got to go to the hospital. It's either a blood clot or an infection. And it turned out it was a Baker's cyst behind the knee that had gone sepsis. And if he hadn't gone to the hospital when they did, they missed a wedding because they had to have intravenous antibiotics 3 times a day. Hey, BlackRock, how's it going? Stephanie, hi. I am resting. I'm being kinder to myself. I'm being kinder to myself right now. My parsley's starting to come up. I planted some things and I still have a partial bag of my Pro Mix. So as soon as the weather allows and my parsley, my oregano, and my sage, I'm going to plant somewhere else, but my parsley and my oregano are going to go into my planters out there. Right? Hey, Deborah, how's it going? A Baker's cyst. Okay, let me just look this up for you folks. A Baker's cyst is a fluid-filled sac that forms in the popliteal fossa, which is located on the posterior aspect of the knee. So it is behind the knee. In adults, Baker's cysts are commonly associated with degenerative conditions of the knee, and patients may present with tightness, discomfort, or pain behind the knee. That's where it is. It's right behind. If your kneecap's on the front, it's on the exact opposite of your kneecap behind your knee. That's where the Baker's cyst comes from. And it's a pocket of fluid. But sometimes it can get infected, right? But I don't know how many times I've reworked my garden in my brain. Now I'm looking at all this garlic and stuff coming up and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll just spread my onions and leeks between those beds, Popliteal means knee. Okay. And posterior means behind. So if you don't want to tell someone to stop being an asshole, you just tell them to stop being a posterior. And if you're really pissed at them, say, stop being a donkey's posterior. It's possible, but if it's swollen and painful or hot to the touch, get them to the doctor. I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I'm professional at is being pals with you guys. And that's not a profession. That's just a joy, right? So, yeah, so we're going to take the paint booth to the dump. So the front yard's finally getting cleaned up. And we're going to take the paint booth to the scrap yard and then garbage to the dump, the garbage that they don't take. Used to play soccer. Well, I mean, it says it's usually when you have issues. Like I have osteoarthritis in my knees, right? So it's usually when there's some kind of damage or irritation. Think of it. I think if you look at it common sense wise, I think if you have, it's, a degenerative knee condition to begin with, think of a blister. This is the way I think it's a response to a degenerative condition or an old injury, because it seems like to be a pocket of fluid. And whenever we get a pocket of fluid, doesn't that usually mean it's trying to cushion something? It's like when you burn yourself, that pocket of fluid, you're not supposed to break the blister. It's to cushion the damaged tissue, right? Well, thank you. Thank you, Just Mom. Just got out of the shower and Yahoo. Hi, Jane. I always hurt, but you do what you have to do. Exactly. Exactly. You always hurt. I mean, if we just stop, if we, I'm not saying push yourself past pain, but I'm saying take your time, because if we stop, I'm past the age of blooming where I'm planted. Okay. I'm past that age. I stop now. I plant myself now, and I will never be. The longer I stay planted, the harder it is to get moving again. That's why even now I'm doing one thing a day, even if it's just, cleaning the sink, right? Cleaning the bathroom sink, right? I've got to fold laundry today. So, I mean, there's the cleaning the bathroom sink, folding laundry, and I got to water my plants. That's daily. There's daily things, meals, dishes, watering of plants. Actually, a blister is a collection of white blood cells trying to heal the area. Really? That's really interesting, Tina. I always look at a blister as a pocket of cushioning fluid to protect. So that's good to know. Hey, Edie, just left Pizza Hut with one of my friends I haven't seen in 2 years. Oh, isn't that always lovely to visit with people you haven't seen in a long time? How do you tell your 40-year-old to get to the doctor? You say, son, I'm still your mom. And as your mom, I have a right to tell you when I think something is wrong and you're not taking it seriously enough. If you have to, get it checked out for my sake, right? I passed that blooming age years ago, and I'm in one or 2 years younger than you. I hear you, Amy. I hear you. Giving ourselves grace is so important nowadays. Yeah, it is. It's very important. And I don't even know what I'm making for supper. I know we had chicken and rice last night, and I'm sorry you did not get a video. But I have some leftover spaghetti, so I just might bake it up with some cheese and stuff. Hey, Karen Ludwig, how are you, darling? Kiko, how are you? Have I missed anybody? Tell him it could be a blood clot. They will do a sonogram to check veins. It's a simple procedure. There you go. There you go. Especially at 40. Always, the moment I said blood, it could be a blood clot, that sends alarm bells warning off in people's heads, right? If you just say it might be an infection, they think, oh, I can get over that. But the truth was that this person could have very easily lost their titanium knee because it was infecting the bone around it. It got infected in septic. I think it burst or something. I don't know what, but it was really bad. And he smoked cigs. Well, I used to smoke too. I smoked for 26 years. And of 20 of those years, I smoked 2 packs a day. So, I mean, you can't, when it comes to addictions, all right, you can quit for all the right reasons, or somebody can quit for all the right reasons, but unless there's only one reason to quit, and that's because you've had enough. So I don't know how many times I quit smoking. I quit smoking so many times because, you know, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that, you know, and I still want a cigarette every day. Not in a craving, but the brain is the harder one to fight with. And I still want a cigarette, like at least once a day, especially, you know, right sitting here right now, because I can't smoke my medication because I don't know if I'm driving or not. So, but unless you know, you can write contracts with family, you can go to interventions and all that stuff, but unless the addict themselves have had enough of the insanity of the addiction, they won't quit. Period. Full stop. Yeah. So, hey, Freaky Geek, how's it going? Hi, Linda. Dragon Lady, I'm mid-60s and added to my daily duties by getting 15 meat chickens today. Now I have another reason to get out of bed. Oh, God. We tried getting chickens a couple of years back, and they got eaten. But Howie said if we really have to, he will put a concrete floor in the little chicken pen out back. And that's because that's the only way they're going to be safe. They've got a wooden pen with quarter-inch construction or half-inch construction hardware cloth. It just needs a concrete floor in that pen because they were tunneling up in under and killing them. I've stopped both, thankfully. Stopping smoking is harder than stopping drinking. Amen. I haven't had a drink in 26 years, and I've had a couple of slide backs when it comes to cigarettes. But it was the hardest one because it was more socially acceptable. So it was alcohol. Alcohol was socially acceptable. Now, you know, you see people having cigarettes standing outside of restaurants in the middle of the winter, you know, or people, you know, standing out on their balcony and stuff. Because if I started smoking again, A, I'd never be able to smoke in the house, and B, Howie would probably never kiss me on the lips again. It's that simple, you know. It's not difficult to pick up an addiction. Say if Howie started smoking and I kissed him and I tasted that on his mouth, I would probably pick up a cigarette. That because your mouth is so sensitive. There's so many thin tissues that go absorbing right into your system. You know, when they say put something under your tongue to melt it like a pill, because it works faster. Think about how much faster shit gets into your system when you're filling your mouth and your lungs with it. THC is acceptable now. Hi, Ruth. How are you? Jennifer Ocean, Lynn Smith, Wilma Baker, Tender Rose. Oh, yeah. You know, so, I mean, and to me, marijuana is medicine. It's not like I smoke, you know, 60 marijuana joints a day. I smoke one. I'll cut it in half. Like I'll roll one this big with a filter in each end, and then I'll cut it in half. And that does me all day. Now, today's Friday. And so tonight, I'm not going to be bouncing around, but I'm sure as heck is going to heavily medicate tonight for Freaky Friday. And if you don't know what Freaky Friday is, just ask and I will tell you. I quit smoking 20 years ago, still dream of buying my cigarettes. I miss it. Do you know what I dream about? Do you know what I dream of? Do you want to hear the weirdest thing I dream about? Is school, is high school. I keep having the same reoccurring dream. That's not the same, different variations, but the same theme, which is, no, Dad, I'm not going to school today. I'm not graduating anyway. So why bother? Right? Or some form of I never finished high school. And I did finish high school. I actually thought that I had failed one course that was going to put me back into high school for another year to pick up the credit. What do you mean Willow's garden is here, but her comments are not showing? Okay, Willow's, If you're here and your comments are not showing, you may be making them too long. Okay? You may be making them too long. If you are doing in like Linda just did there, she's probably came close to running out of because they only let you have 100 characters in blocks, capitals, and 200 in regular font, and that's also spaces and punctuation. I don't have a naughty list. Well, yeah, Edna, but mine is, and you would go broke. Okay. But I mean, I just had one the other day saying, why should I go to school? I'm not going to graduate anyway. Right. And I found out at the last minute that I had passed the course, and my friend forced me to go to graduation. Right. She said, Bev, you're only going to do this once. So my dad drove me to her house because dad was on a pension and we had very little gas, and we lived, 30 miles from, or 26 kilometers, like 15, 20 miles from school, from the high school. So my dad drove me to my friend's house, and then her folks drove us to the graduation. Had an ad come through. They're not there at all. Tell her to go out and come back in again. Can you see her comments? Tell her to go out and come back in again and try again, honey. Couldn't skip it. I had an ad come through. Yeah. See, this is the thing. Okay. They have taken out of my hands what kind of ad, like what style, whether it's a mid-roll ad, an end-roll ad, a non-skippable ad, a skippable ad, a banner ad. They've taken all of that out of my control. I have no control over how or when or what the ads are that appear on my thing. Okay. Now, the only control I have is when before I start the live stream, I get it all set up, and they say, how do you want your mid-roll ads to appear? And the only control I have is aggressive, balanced, or conservative. And I always hit conservative. Always hit conservative, because I think it's absolutely horrible that folks, I should turn my phone on in case Howie's calling me. I think it's absolutely horrible that folks have to unwillingly sit through ads that, and so I have no choice in the ads. I have no choice in how they appear, where they appear. The only choice I have is aggressive, balanced, or conservative. And I always hit conservative. Okay. And that's the best I can do for you. Right. I can't stand ads during YouTube live streams, and it happens on everyone's streams unless they're demonetized. Exactly. I've heard that even people who pay not to see ads are seeing them as well, but all the same. You know what pisses me off is we have Prime and we have Netflix. And the thing is when you buy Prime, you think you're getting it all, and you're not. Then you have to buy all the different networks. Like we have Paramount, Stars, BritBox, and Basic Prime. Okay. That costs us $45 a month. Because we bought the Prime, and then they'd say, and then you get into places like you go into Prime and you go, okay, let's see what it's on Stars. And they go, oh, look at that movie. And you go to click on it and they want you to rent or buy it. It's a friggin' scam. And now when you watch Prime videos, they put an ad, they put 2 or 3 ads in them now. So why the hell am I buying Prime? I might as well watch TV with commercials. It's like, it's the frog in the boiling pot. They get you used to it, and then they up the ante, up the ante, up the ante, up the ante. I cannot convince Howie to get rid of regular TV. Well, I get most of the ads I get, and I get ads too. Most of the ads I get are in French because I live in Quebec, and there's nowhere to opt out for that. They should make it so that, yeah, I live in Quebec and most of my stuff should be in French, right? But I'm not French, so I should be able to opt out of the French ads because they're losing money every time they give me a French ad, because I got to say, I don't speak French, I don't understand French, and I got to skip it, right? Is going to email you with screenshots she took explaining it to you at your email, Connected Hearts. Okay. I can't go out of here right now to look at it, but I will. Okay. I will. Hey, Michelle Barnhill, how's it going? Get this. I'm in Puerto Rico. We speak Spanish as our first language, but our commercials are in English. Well, see, I live in Quebec, and Quebec is as close to being a separate country within a country as you're going to get, except maybe Texas. Texas seems to be its own country sometimes, I think. Gotta go, everyone. Headed out with the kids for some shopping. Have a great day. I have to go too. I have some things. I've got to edit and upload my latest Cooking with Cannabis video. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live. I am going to make up for the Little Women Live being missed last night. It's either going to be tonight before Freaky Friday or tomorrow evening, and you'll get 2 chapters. We'll see. Okay. Hey, Skippy Jones, how are you? You know who I haven't seen in a while is Bob from Big Sky Billings, Montana. We haven't seen him in a while. I have Prime for shipping and movies. I don't watch much of it. I don't watch much of anything except YouTube. I'm hooked on real people. Oh, well, that's always good. That's always good to be hooked on real people. I've had to fight my entire YouTube experience, which is my YouTube time. It will be 15 years. I should have some kind of anniversary thing. What do you think in September? What do you think? I should have some kind of anniversary. I have a product review coming up, but it might take a couple of weeks before it gets here. And that's all I can tell you. Well, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. But my mind just went completely blank. My mind just went completely blank. What was I talking about before? I still have pain. I'm still feeling drained, but I'm doing better. I'm just taking my time because I'm determined to get out into the garden tomorrow or Sunday. Have an anniversary celebration. Yeah. Hey, Dima Beth. Yeah, I will be on here 15 years in September. And from probably 2012 on, people tried to tell me, be more like a studio kitchen. You'll make more money. You'll do this. And it's like, I don't want to pretend to be somebody I'm not. Okay. That's a lot of work. It's hard enough being myself and dealing with any kind of flack or blowback that comes with me being myself. It's hard enough being yourself in a fake world. But for me to be anybody else, it goes against everything I am. It goes against my sobriety. It goes against my addictive behavior. To try, I couldn't be an actor if you paid me. I could not. Well, I could do it probably fairly decently. But the truth is I feel like you would be giving up a part of who you are to every time you act out a character. That's just me, right? So I have had to fight through 10 years of YouTube to keep my YouTube family with me against all odds of people saying you need to be a studio kitchen, you need to settle down on one thing, you need to be this, you need to do that, you remember back in the day I would cut my hair and curl it, put a little bit of makeup on and all that. It's too much work. I'd rather be 100% imperfectly perfect and never have to. It's like lying, isn't it? If you're somebody, you're acting like if you're being somebody acting, if you're being somebody you're not, if you're portraying somebody you're not, that's exhausting. And sooner or later, you lose some touch with who you really are. And it's hard, So be yourself. Always be yourself. You may not attract a lot of people. Like I've been here 15 years. I'm only at 143,000 subscribers. But they're the subscribers that I want here, right? I don't want anybody here who doesn't want me to be exactly who I am, right? Because in a world full of mixed messages about body image, about self-esteem, about all of these things that are going on in the world. You see these things that are going on in the world with P. Diddy and all that stuff and Epstein's Island and stuff. And I am grateful to my core for having been an alcoholic, because being an alcoholic means when I sobered up, I had to get rigorously honest. And when you're rigorously honest, there is no room. You're only as sick as your secrets. So it's best to be the most perfect imperfect you than try and be 100% copy of somebody else. You know what I mean? Thank you, Ruth. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you loving me the way I am. And I wouldn't keep coming back here day after day, even when I'm sick, because you're my family. You are my family, in a way that blood relatives, we were discussing this yesterday, in a way that blood relatives can't be. Okay. Well, they can be, because, you choose. The family you choose is more real than the family you have to have because you were born with it. But I have a lot of family also that I choose to have in the same camp I keep you in, which is my real family, the blood of the covenant family, thicker than the water of the womb family kind of thing, right? Hey, just me. So I got to go now because Howie's going to be home soon. And I have to I'm going to give him a call and find out whether I'm driving behind him or not. Well, I can't give him a call. He won't know until he wants to know if he feels safe. If he doesn't feel safe driving the truck, dragging the trailer with all this stuff on it, then I'll drive behind just to make sure nothing goes wrong. Hey, Tender Rose. I'm always learning new things. Well, you know what? All of my videos are in order by year in the playlist. Go to the playlist and punch in 2009, 2010, 2011, and all the way up. Because some I have removed from older stuff, but I still have somewhere around 3,000 videos. So if you're really hurting for videos and you want to see my mistakes and how I started out and all that, how we started out here, then you go right ahead and watch all my older videos. I will greatly appreciate it. All right. I've got to go. I love you guys. Hi, Pamela. Roxanne. Hello. Goodbye. Listen, take care. God bless. Patrons, I will see you tonight, probably 9 o'clock. Maybe 8, we'll see. Reading with Beverly Wolfe, folks, either tonight or tomorrow, you're going to get the chapter of Little Women Live that you missed last night because I completely forgot. I was not in the mind frame of keeping things organized, really. All right. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. Mwah. And remember, this is how I see it. I may not be able to see your face like you can see mine, but I don't need to. because my heart sees you. My heart sees you show up day after day. And you're a part of my soul family, right? Take care. God bless. I love you. Never forget that.